Lesson 2. Database terminology, such as engineering, medicine, sporting, and art, or any other field in the world. The database field has its own terminology as well. This lesson covers the most essential terms that are used when dealing database.
Lesson 2. Knowledge and skills. In database constraints you study 1. Not null, 2. Unique key, 3. Primary key. For foreign key / and system development life cycle you study 1. Software concept, 2. Analysis, 3. Design, 4. Developing, 5. System testing. Database constraints. In database programs, like SQL Server, manipulation of data is subject to certain rules that are set by the developers. These rules are called constraints. The common constraints in any database program are explained as follows.
Not null. The not null constraint prevents null values from being used in the columns. A null value is an unknown, unassigned and inapplicable value that appears in any field in the table when that field contains no values. For instance, when an employee does not have a cellular, then this / her cellular number is null, and when every employee must have a name value, then the name column is not null.
Remember, a null value is not the same as 0 or a space. A 0 is number and a space is character.
Unique key. The unique key constraint requires that every value in a column or set of columns must be unique. In other words, no two rows of a table can have duplicate values in a specified column or set of columns. For instance, no two employees can have the same cellular number. Unique constraints enable the input of null values in their unique columns. Furthermore, repeating or duplicating null values in their unique columns does not violate their unique constraint, because null values are inapplicable and not equal to any known value. Look to the picture to see the difference between unique key column and non-unique key. Primary key. The primary key is one or more columns whose values uniquely identify each row in a table. For instance, the code column in the employees table is the primary key that uniquely identifies each particular employee, and the primary key value must be a unique and a not null value. You can have only one unique identifier, primary key, in table. Foreign key. The foreign key constraints are a column or set of columns that contains logical pointers rather than physical data values. These logical pointers must refer to an existing primary key or unique key, physical values in a primary key or unique key column or set of columns, or else be a null value. For instance, the department number in the employees table is a logical pointer that refers to the actual department number in the departments table. When the foreign key constraint, you can ensure the following. 1. Achieving data consistency. 2. Achieving data integrity. 3. Avoiding data redundancy. The major attributes of the different types of constraints can be described as shown in the next table.
Look to picture to explain constraint type.
System development life cycle. The system development life cycle is the process of developing information systems through some sequential phases. Each phase within the overall cycle may be made up of several steps. The major and common phases of the system development life cycle can be briefly described as follows. Software concept. The first phase is identifying a need for the new system. This will include determining whether a business problem or opportunity exists, conducting a feasibility study to determine if the proposed solution is cost-effective, and developing a project plan. Analysis. This is the process of analyzing the information needs of the end users. The organization needs should be recorded in an executable prototype or some other form, and should be referred to throughout the rest of the system development process to ensure the developing project aligns with user needs and requirement. Design. After the requirement have been determined, the specifications for the hardware, software, people, and data resources, and the information products, that will satisfy the functional requirements of the proposed system can be determined. The design will serve as a drawing for the system and helps detect problems before these errors or problems are actually built. Developing phase or the building. Through this phase, application developers write and execute the commands to create the tables and other supporting objects for the database. System testing. The system must be tested to evaluate its actual functionality in relation to expected or intended functionality, besides training the end users to use the new system. End users are always the main key in determining whether the developed system meets the intended requirements and the extent to which the system is used